So the Blackwater Valley Exorcism is based on an actual event, but it's got one better actually. Um, this film was apparently filmed under the supervision of the traditional Catholic bishop Jason Spatafor. So there was a bishop on set during the filming of this, just in case anything funky was to go down and somebody actually ended up getting, possessed or something like that. It did happen. It was an actual bishop. I watched the special features. They did have it, him there. Why? They wanted to be hipster, I guess. I don't know. I don't think anything bad happened on set anyway, but I just found that kind of funny, being that every film is based on a true story, or at least half of them are when it's a horror film, and this one just wanted to take that step further. I recently started to refer to myself as a bad film aficionado, especially going through Letterboxd and actually seeing that other people are into bad film as much as I am. There's just some charm about it. They're fun, I always say that the only thing a film has to do is entertain me and not leave me bored, no matter what the budget on it is. I don't care if it's a $10 million film or a $5,000 film. It just has to be not boring, basically. And like I said, there's a lot of really low budget, really grade B films that are extremely entertaining. This is one of them. Now, I gave it 1 out of 5 stars on Letterboxd because that's what it is in quality, in my opinion. And I gave it 19 out of 100 for my own rating. Why out of 100? Because I hate decimals. And this tells a story about a girl named Isabel who becomes possessed in her farm town. Her dad is played by a guy named Eli. There's it's a really small town, or small county, you could say. So there's a veterinarian that plays along big on the story. I forget his name, to be honest. The father's name is Eli. His wife's name is Blanche. Their daughter is Isabel, the one that's possessed. She has a sister named Claire, who used to be engaged to the priest named Jacob, the local priest. And they were going to get married, but then he ended up having a kind of affair with Isabel back a few years prior, and that basically caused a big stain on the family and obviously ended their relationship, Claire's and Jacob's. And Jacob ended up becoming a priest after that, and yada yada. So the priest that they have no other choice but to call in to exorcise this girl has some really bad history with the family, and albeit being their only option kind of thing. There's this guy named Miguel, which is basically a field hand. He's a Mexican man. He is very religious and understands a lot about what's going on with the possessions and Latin, the girl speaking Latin and all that. And then Claire, the sister, ends up coming in about midway through the film. And then she meets Jake, the priest, Jacob, her ex, who's now a priest, and it's a lot of themes going on because it deals with other plot points other than just the exorcism and the girl possessed. I'm trying to think of what I love and what I don't like. Okay, I could say this is like The Room, like Tommy Wiseau's The Room of exorcism films. I watched a film very recently too called Night Killer, and the first thing I thought of about Night Killer, which is just released on Severin Films, is this is like Tommy Wiseau's The Room of slasher films. And what I thought when I first watched this film, this is my second viewing, was this is Tommy Wiseau's The Room of exorcism films. So if you know Tommy Wiseau's The Room, it's terrible, but it's so enjoyable, and that's why it actually became popular, is because how enjoyable it is, and fun, and like how much fun you can have with a film that terrible. It's great, and this is where the whole bad film aficionado thing comes from, because my last one with House of the Dead did semi well, so I might start reviewing a lot more bad cinema because it's fun, and it's fun to watch bad cinema, especially when you're really in the mood for it. The acting is horrendous in this film. It's just so bad. And you know what? I kind of skimmed through the what's it called, the commentary by the director and the guy who plays Jacob. His name is Cameron Daddo. He's an Australian guy. He portrays an American accent, playing the priest Jacob, and they. I was skimming through the comedy. I didn't see the entire comedy throughout the whole film, which I will next time. But I saw or listened to parts of it, especially in parts where I wanted to hear them kind of dissect the scene. And even them, you can tell that they didn't take this film 100% seriously, and because they're kind of making fun of themselves on screen and talking about how much fun they were having, but also how ridiculous some of the scenes played out. Like they were talking about when the father and the veterinarian come in to try and tranquilize the daughter with horse tranquilizer, by the way, because the veterinarian is, he just works with animals, but since the father has no other choice and no actual doctor around, he's actually expecting this veterinarian to treat his daughter as like a doctor would, and it's just absolutely ridiculous. And it takes no effort whatsoever for the father to convince this vet to use horse tranquilizer on his daughter. It's so bonkers, and they're kind of making fun of that whole scenario themselves, the director and Cameron Dotto. And they compare it to like two men having no idea how to how to handle like a hormonal daughter or a hormonal teenager, and they're making this tranquilizer scenario and comparing it to like adults not knowing how to handle hormonal like teenagers. It's funny how they themselves didn't take the whole project seriously and didn't like gas up their films and have this big ego about it, like, oh my gosh, this is like the best film in the world, man, like we put so much effort and so much time, and it's genius, like you gotta read between the lines, you just don't get it. They're just like, no, we made this and we had a blast with it, and it's just supposed to be stupid fun. It's not supposed to be taken seriously, which is kind of ironic because they brought in a priest to supervise just in case anything went wrong. Maybe that's part of the joke too. I don't know. But yeah, I think I'd say the acting is the worst in this film. Like it's just terrible. There's a scene where Claire is there's a kind of like a sex scene where she's about to, start messing around with Jacob, and she takes his white collar off, and then the next scene it's right back on his collar. So she takes it off, and the next scene it's back on him, and then the next scene it's off again. So clearly no editing style and editing effort put into that, and a lot of bizarre things happen with because of the demon presence. The father starts going crazy. He starts to suspect that the vet was cheating with his wife, and there's a scene where he takes him on a drive and interrogates him to confess, otherwise he's gonna shoot him. So he tells the vet to confess, otherwise he's gonna die, and if he confesses, he'll let him live. Kills him anyway, but it's just it's a mess of a film, basically. But yeah, it's still a lot of fun. 2006, released by Maple. There's a few trailers that are in this film and that I discovered because I love films that are packed with a lot of trailers because it's an easy way to like discover new cinema, and I think Maple kind of. I've watched like a whole slew of films that are pretty much released by the same distributors, so that's pretty cool. Like I said, I do want to watch the whole commentary, but I think I pretty much covered what the film's about. The girl who plays Isabel is hot as hell. Other than her messed up demon teeth and chapped lips, she's always making sexual remarks, especially to her father, with the whole "Daddy, don't you want to fuck me? Don't you want to touch me?" You know, stereotypical demon shit. But her being like pretty good looking, you know, it like mild down the cringe. Not a whole lot, but a little bit. At least she's nice to look at, kind of. It's not like a fucking weirdo. Friggin' possessed chick with like rotten teeth and like chapped lips and like she's so hot. The actress is hot. You know, watch the special features. You know what I'm talking about. All right. It's a fun film though. It's a fun watch. And that's really all I got on it. But like I said, I'm probably going to be reviewing a lot of bad cinema because it's fun and I like it. And it's a fun time to be had with a couple beers, that's for sure. Subscribe to Morgan Film Fan if you like to listen to my voice or if you like my film reviews, and there's plenty more coming. And go check out the rest of them that are on the channel. So, till next time, I will be back for more, and take it easy. Cheers.